Welcome, Bureau Nation, to the Coach's Corner, presented by Caps Pizza and Pub. Here's your host, Paul Tipton.
Well, hey there, boys and girls. Thanks for joining us here on a Tuesday night at Caps Pizza for Coach's Corner. We got a couple of players that'll join us a little bit later, our Scott's Pretty Good players of the game, and we'll get a preview of our next game at the Citrus Bowls. We head back home to take on Booker T for Week 7. But first, we got to talk about Week 6 and come away with a win, 21-13, Coach. Congratulations, district win number 2.
Yeah, thank you. It was a successful night for us. We ended up traveling down to Fort Pierce to take on Fort Pierce Central, and they came in undefeated. We were undefeated. Go down there and to come away with the win was a big night for us. Some back and forth there early on, especially, and all in all, like I said, to come away with the win is obviously what we were shooting for, and we got that accomplished.
Yeah. Obviously, an interesting start to the ball game with a weather delay, and you were just telling us a little while ago that you had to kind of contemplate when to actually travel down to Lawnwood Stadium. So, with that said, how much of that delay did it change up your routine getting ready for the game?
Well, I mean, both teams are having to deal with it,
sure.
So you surely can't use that for any kind of reason for a slow start or anything along those lines. But it happens on the regular during practice. We get pulled off practice field, and so when those things, you have those opportunities in practice, you have those opportunities for lessons to relay to your players that look, these situations happen on Friday nights where we get a late start or a delay or whatever. But in this case, traveling on the road was a little different because we weren't traveling to a great distance. We knew that we were under a lightning delay down there, so we had started off with our guys on the buses, pulled them off the school buses and put them in our gym when we found out we were under a lightning delay, and decided that it was going to be a little bit more made a little bit more sense to stay in here in Vero before getting on a bus and traveling down to a stuffy locker room or sitting on a couple school buses or whatever and trying to wait it out. We decided to do some of that back here in Vero, but you're having to play meteorologist and forecaster and all those kinds of things to predict when you should leave and how you get down there. So it ended up working out right, and we got down there. Warm-ups were shrunk a little bit. We shortened warm-ups, started the game, I believe, maybe 15 minutes after the regular schedule time, and so we got it going.
It was a tough ball game, and I got to admit that I did the thing that you said not to do, which is do a little bit of schedule comparison, score comparison, those kind of things. And you warned me about this team. You said this is going to be a tough team, and it ended up being a pretty dogfight in the end.
Yeah, I mean, we had a chance to see him this summer in 7-on-7. We've said that is, a bunch of times here on these kind of shows that there's really zero correlation between 11-on-11 football and 7-on-7, other than you get to see and eyeball, skill talent. And, obviously I've known Coach Watkins. He does a great job, and his staff. They've got good skill players. I didn't know a whole lot about their linemen going into it, but I knew they had talent, and I knew that they would be well coached. So when you have all those things in that collection, then you got to expect. And there's a lot riding on it.
Sure.
They're at home. We're having to travel. We're both coming off a bye week, so you have that evens things out. And I just expected a hard-fought game. And I think we kind of got what we bargained for.
Coach, during that first half, you seemed like you were moving the ball good. You had a couple turnovers, some interceptions and all. But, again, I was up in Manhattan, Kansas, listening to it, and the guys did a great job.
They do a great job.
And
with or without you.
Yeah. Thanks, Coach. See, now I get to throw my shot, okay? Come on, Pat. What was that second call about, Coach? But my point I'm making right there was that you were moving the ball well. Your offense was doing good things. You had a couple turnovers. And again, it could have been disastrous in that first half, but you were only down by a touchdown, and you still were able to move the ball at times. And I thought that because of that, I thought coming out the second half that you guys would have a good chance to ignite your team and get going.
Well, I'm glad you ended up being right on the second part of that, and really really all of what you said is on point. We The turnover that happened, the first turnover, we started that drive on our -10, and it was the 12th play of that drive. We had run 11 consecutive run plays, and we got to the +18. So it was 3rd and 8, and we were coming off a break. I want to say either a water break or an injury kind of time. So had an opportunity to talk to EJ during that particular time, and I hadn't called a pass play up to that point. And, so we come out of the break and it's 3rd and 8, and we call a formation that we hadn't been running. We'd been running some bigger sets and some tighter sets. And so we go to our spread stuff and talk to EJ, and it was, something that we've talked about. We call an RPO, and with the idea that, we're only going to throw it if it's a gift. And credit to Fort Pierce Central. They disguised the coverage look, which we had, seen a bunch of that on film. And one of the reasons why we thought that we could, gain an advantage running the ball. You guys probably noticed that our game plan offensively, especially, was a little different in this game. It had to be, I think it was I had called 2 pass plays in the entire game. So that's got to be some kind of low number for me for sure, right? And we attempted 4, but those were pass plays on run calls. And so as this 12th play it was a run play. And he had the option to throw it if he was uncovered. Well, they disguised and spun a couple guys down, did a great job. I mean, credit to them. There's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts and all those kinds of things. But what happened is that's our 12th play of the drive where, we're having a lot of success running the football. And we go from the +18 to now they've got 1st and goal at the 9.
Yeah.
And then they score the very next play. So we had, up to that point, dominated, in my mind, the game. But we're down 6-0, and they've got everybody flying high and riding high. And then now we're playing from behind. We had eaten up a bunch of clock. Our defense really that was one play, so we really had no. And so you get yourself in a situation where you're in a game that's back and forth. It's close. It would have been very easy for us as coaches, our players, to get disgusted with the game plan going in. And what I'm most proud of is our players stuck with the game plan. Our coaches did as well, and we were able to do what we needed to do to win the game.
Well, 46 plays overall, 312 yards, and one of the 2 completions turned out to be a touchdown for you. So not a bad night's worth of work. What are you most proud of out of this game?
Well, I got into coaching a long time ago, and when I first started coaching, I was coaching 2 sports. I was coaching baseball and I was coaching football, and I got to learn under I actually played for him as well, a guy named Rick Dixon, and he was a baseball coach, and he just taught me so much about organization and really paying attention to the fundamentals and details. We used to do something in baseball. We called it Fundamental Drill Series, and we did it every single day. And I'd be like, I'm new young coach, and I'm like, Coach, these kids are going to get bored. I mean, we're doing this. They want to hit. They want to do the fun stuff. And he's like, look, we got to do the fundamentals, and you can't get bored with the details. And I learned that at a very, very young age in coaching, that we can't as coaches, because it's very easy to get bored with details. Our players, it's very easy for them to get bored with details. And so each and every day we try to go out there and practice Monday through Thursday and work these fundamentals in these details. And so if you ask what I'm most proud of, is that we were able to hang on to that. We knew that we had some advantages, and we could, if we stuck with the game plan, then that was going to give us the best chance to win. It would have been very easy to go in at halftime, to be down. Trust me, the thoughts ran through my head to throw that plan in the garbage and just go doing what we usually do and go crazy and see how that works. But I did not think that would give us the best chance, and as it turns out, we ended up. We had, and people would be surprised about this. So we talk about explosive plays all the time on offense, and how we gauge explosive plays is 15 yards or more on the run, or 20 yards or more in the passing game. And the most number of explosive plays that we've had up during this season was our very first game. That was 8. Well, we tied the number of explosive plays, offensive plays, the other night with 8 explosive plays of the 46. even though we ran it 42 times, we had 8 explosive plays. We had 279 yards rushing. Both EJ and Jonathan were over 100 yards. So I think all in all, it was a good night. Obviously, the defense came out in the second half, shut them out. It seemed as, again, just living that game and going through it live, it seemed as we were living it that we gave up a bunch of third and long, when we were on defense, a bunch of third and longs, a bunch of fourth and longs. And they did capitalize on a couple of those. But when I did that's another situational statistic that I work on every week. They converted on 5 of 12 third downs and 2 of 5 fourth downs, which, you don't like the convert, but that's not an awful night. And so I was pleased that we were able to shut them out in the second half. Like I said, they've got good skill guys and coach does a great job over there. So it was maybe not a lot of style points. I get critiqued after the games by some people that I know pretty hard, in particular my son. And I think he sent me a text after the game. And he said, if you were going to waste all those receivers all night, why didn't you just play with 10 offensive linemen? And so,
man, where does he get that from?
I don't know. He's hardcore. But
I like that. I may use that one.
I like to give you some ammo.
Coach, we talked obviously a lot about the offense, but the defense used 3 turnovers, 3 takeaways, I guess, if you will. And 2 of those interceptions. Oh my goodness, what catches! I mean, even if he was an offensive player, that would be some awesome catches. I mean, that was Odell Beckham-like catches.
Right. So we did have 3 interceptions on the night. From two of our sophomore, studs that have had big seasons for us. Micah Roberts. Both of these guys, both Micah and Jamarian, who you get to talk to here in a minute, both started as offensive players for us. And just to speak, to their level of unselfishness, that they were able to move over to the defensive side of the ball and just really have made a bunch of plays. I think Jamarion second on the team in tackles, Micah with those 2 incredible interceptions. So yeah, very proud of those guys.
Yeah, no, I had to go back a few times and watch some of those catches. I mean, and like you said with Jamarian, I mean, the interception itself. I mean, what a time to have that interception. I mean, that's a touchdown saving interception.
Yeah, I would say that if that ball's not behind that receiver there a little bit, and we don't get that pick, that the idea of the game plan going in the garbage can, there's probably a little more probable. It's probably a little more probable that happened. So it was a big play, a huge play for us at that point. We went into halftime only down 6.
Right.
The thing that impressed me was 2 sophomores. 2 sophomores, that discipline, running the defense, doing the things they did, making the plays they did. Wow, that just tells you that the future for those 2 guys is immensely going to be high.
No doubt.
Well, there you go. Vero Beach gets the win 21-13 last Friday night in Fort Pierce at Lawnwood Stadium. District win number 2. Coming up, we've got another opponent heading to the Citrus Bowl in Booker T, Washington. We'll talk about those guys in just a little bit. But when we come back, we're going to talk to our Scott Sporting Good players of the game from last week. We'll be back with more Coach's Corner right after this.
Hi, JW here from Barker Air Conditioning and Heating, serving the Indian River County area since 1959 and supporting fighting Indian sports for decades. We're known for being HVAC specialists for installation and service. Local, licensed, and insured, Barker is a trained comfort specialist that services all makes and models. BarkerAC.com.
Christian FM can put this game on the radio thanks to the support of businesses like Chuck Bateman State Farm Insurance in Vero Beach. Chuck's goal is to create an atmosphere where customers can talk about what's important to them. He's also a huge supporter of our local chapter of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Chuck's phone is 567-1106 or chuckbatemaninsurance.com.
Christian FM thanks SOS Pest Services, who know that Florida's warm climate means pests of all types, disrupting our comfort and lifestyle. When it's time to sound the alarm, SOS will send their technicians to promptly deal with the problem, so no more worries about unwanted guests. SOS Pest has a range of services tailored to meet individual needs, serving Orchid, Indian River Shores, North Hutchinson Island, and surrounding areas. Owned and managed by lifetime local pros. Online at sospestservices.com or 772-296-2966.
Christian FM thanks Paris Family Chiropractic for their support. Dr. Matt Paris is a longtime resident of Vero Beach and a former quarterback for the Fighting Indians. Just like our Fighting Indians work hard for the win, Dr. Paris works hard for a patient's well-being. From proper alignment to good nutrition, Dr. Paris helps patients achieve the win. Paris Family Chiropractic. When the spine is in line, everything is fine. 299-4649 or parisfamilychiro.com.
The Coach's Corner, presented by Caps Pizza and Pub.
Well, last Friday night, Vero Beach Lawnwood Stadium comes out with a win 21-13. And as you heard Coach Jankowski talk about, not a lot going on in the passing game, but we had enough. In fact, one of those completions out of the two was a touchdown for 39 yards to this man right here, Marcus Melbourne. One of the interceptions out of the three we had on Friday night was by this gentleman on my left over here. This is Jamarian Hillsman, our Scott Sporting Good players of the game. Guys, thanks for taking some time out of the busy schedule this week as you get set for your next opponent, which will be Booker T. But before we talk about that, let's talk about Fort Pierce Central and going down to Lawnwood Stadium. District game. Marcus, you know how important district games can be. What was the atmosphere like on the field when the lights came on and the ball was kicked?
Yes, sir. It was very energetic. As soon as we kicked the ball off, they came out with energy because, you know, everybody wants to beat Vero. We're a big team. It's a district game. So they came out. They had a lot of energy. I think they came out hotter than us. We came out a little slow. But then we started to pick it up after halftime, and we just executed and just played football how we do.
You did. Now, you know, obviously as a receiver, you want to see passing plays called, right?
Yes,
you
sir.
know, but as Coach talked about, there's often times where you have to be unselfish,
Yes,
and
sir.
you got to be a blocker at
Yes,
times
sir.
when you're running the ball. So as the game is progressing and you're not seeing a lot of run or pass plays called, what's going through your head? Are you thinking, man, are we ever going to throw the ball tonight, or what's going on?
Yeah, I get those thoughts sometimes.
Sure.
But, you know, you have to stay positive. You got to be a team player because you can't win the sport just by yourself. It's not 1 versus 11. So you got to be a team player. And I'm just going to do my job whenever I have to. If I have to block, I'm going to give it 100%. If I'm catching the ball, I'm get 100%. Running a route to run a guy off, give 100%. And I just do whatever coach asks me to do.
That's one of the reasons why we're 5-0. I'm going to take you through that play, though, where you did end up scoring. And, you know, of course, you never know in the course of a ball game, unless it's like right at the end of the game, whether
Yes,
or not
sir.
is this touchdown going to be the deciding factor. And ended
Yeah.
up it was.
Yes, sir.
So it's a pass play. Now, I think it was what about maybe a 15-yard pass, and then you did the rest from there, right?
It was a 6-yard hitch.
Okay.
And I just took it all the way. And when I caught the ball, I seen the guy in front of me. I know Coach Day, he always emphasizes it on perfect drill. We got to sprint 5 yards before he make a move. So I went 5 yards, made a move. And then both of my teammates, they made great blocks. They ran with me.
Yeah.
Jarvis and Trey Woods, they helped me, and I just finished play and scored.
Absolutely, man. And what a time to get that touchdown. It's helped seal the victory.
Yes, sir.
Another thing that helped seal the victory. And again, Jamarian, you never know in the course of a ball game when a play can be such a deciding factor in the outcome of the ball game. It's right before halftime. Fort Pierce Central is looking like they're making a move inside of the end zone, and you come up with an interception that keeps them from scoring a touchdown. Take me through that play. What'd you see?
I just remember it was cover 4, and he had ran a slant, and I had broke on it, and I see he threw it high, so I went to go get it, and like I was trying to see if I go take a knee in the end zone or just keep running. I just kept running, and it was a key pick.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely was a key pick because, I mean, my goodness, in a low-scoring ball game like that, I mean, every possession is so important. And so to be able to put that stop together, man, that was highly critical for our team to get a win on Friday night. Second half of that ball game, man, the defense, they came out, they really played lights out. What was the feel and the attitude like on the field?
Yeah, we know it was some adversity. When we came out, had to keep our composure, and we played good defense.
You primarily have played receiver. You're on the defensive side this season right now. How has played receiver helping you play in the secondary?
It helped with tracking the ball, like picks and like quarterback throw it, the vision.
Absolutely. All right. Well, all right, guys, you got another tough opponent coming up, Booker T. Washington. Marcus, what do you know about them?
We played them last year. It was a pretty good game. Everything counts in that game. Everything counted in that game. Every phase, offense, defense, and special teams. We had a great game on with special teams against them. It made a big factor at the end of the game. But I think we're going to come out this week. If we just execute, it should be a good win.
I totally agree. Jamari, what do you see so far on Booker T?
I don't really know much about them, but they're a good team because they beat us last year.
No, we won.
No, we won.
We won?
Yeah, we blocked the field goal.
Yeah. I'm thinking about Homestead. Yeah.
Homestead. Yeah. It can get a little confusing. Miami teams. I got it. I got you, man. He's just a sophomore. He's learning. He'll get it. Don't worry. He knows when to find the ball and make an interception. That's the most important part. Who we're playing doesn't matter. We got it. All right, guys. Well, congratulations on the win. You're 2-0 in the district. You're 5-0 overall. Let's keep the momentum going. Good luck this week, guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, Marcus Melbourne, Jamari, and Hillsman, our Scott Sporting Good players of the game. Coach Gary going to come back right after this.
Comfort Zone AC and Heating of Vero Beach has been servicing Indian River County for over 40 years, using only certified technicians. As a Christian, family, and veteran-owned and operated business, they offer comprehensive air conditioning, heating, and indoor air quality solutions to their clients. Online at ComfortZoneACNow.com. Proud supporters of Fighting Indians.
Mazzarella's Auto Sales is part of a local business family and their Christian FM supporters.
I'm sales manager Mike Mazzarella, and we always strive to offer late model cars and trucks that undergo inspection and service by our high-tech mechanics. We have Jeeps, Rams, Toyotas, Hondas, commercial vehicles, and luxury vehicles. On site, we have our Spanish-speaking sales and financial advisor, Diego Sainz. We also offer our virtual showroom online at mazautosales.com.
I'm Chris, Mike's brother. Our family has been serving our community since 1999.
Now on the corner, 4th Street in Old Dixie.
Molinari Pools is a proud supporter of Fighting Indians football and Christian FM. A family-owned and operated business, the Molinari family, longtime members of this community. Joel Molinari, a former Fighting Indian, loves serving the Treasure Coast residents from pool cleaning to repairs to pool remodeling. Molinari Pools. Love people, love pools. 772-778-2633 or molinaripools.com.
The Coach's Corner, presented by Caps Pizza and Pub.
Well, after a week on the road, Vero Beach heads back to the Citrus Bowl. It's Pink Out Night at the stadium this Friday night. Coach, a nice theme here at the Citrus Bowl this Friday.
Yeah, so October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so we try to, do a little bit to recognize and obviously support that great cause. And I think, goodness, everybody that knows somebody has been affected with some version of breast cancer in their family, friends, and recently have had lost somebody close in our football family, one of our players' moms, and so it's close to us, and we want to obviously recognize that, and it is a pink out, so for our fans and I'm sure you guys have plenty of pink, and make sure that we get that and enjoy the night and recognize the cause.
All right, so we move on to week 7, Coach. You got Booker T coming to the house this Friday night. What do you know about them?
Well, I mean, they're always going to be athletic. I think you start there, and as Marcus said, we had a chance to play them last year. Now they've gone through a coaching change, so there's some challenges that come along with that because they had legendary Coach Ice Harris was back at Booker T for several years and had them back, playing at a very, very high level with some great athletes. Coach Harris took another job, here at the end of the summer, and so they've gone through a coaching change, and I think what I've noticed through film is that here recently they've got it going. They started their season, Dade County. It's kind of like other different parts of the state where there's the haves and have-nots, and so they started the season with Miami Central. Miami Palmetto, some of the top-notch teams in Dade County. They've also played Lakeland in the regular season, so their schedule has not been very forgiving. They had a big win this past week. I think it was 50-20 over Miami Springs. So, they're headed in the right direction. They're coming up here. They present some challenges for sure, just on pure athleticism. And I've noticed that that the coaches do a great job as well. So, we'll have to. As both those guys mentioned, we'll have to, do the things that we typically emphasize each and every week to have a chance.
And it's tough sometimes when you know a team is 1-4, you can't allow your team to think that you're playing against it's a bottom feeder.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very good program, like you said. They've
Right.
got good athletes and all, and it's one of those games that you don't sleep on these guys. You better not sleep.
Right. As you know, we've talked about it on the flip side of that. Sometimes there are teams on your schedule that have a very favorable record, and your record sometimes has something to do with who you play. And so up to this point, like I said, they've played each and every week. They've played, a top-notch team. So yeah, what has happened in the past is going to have nothing to do with what happens other
That's
than
right.
I do know that they have some young talent in some key positions, and I think each and every week that young talent has gotten experience and is playing at its best football right now.
All right, Coach. So if we want to get tickets, are they available?
Yeah, so tickets will be available at the school Thursday and Friday from 8 to 10. For those that do not have season tickets, they can purchase tickets on the reserve side. That'll keep them from having to wait in line. Or if they'd like tickets on the visitor side, they can go online and buy them on GoFan. But I would suggest if they are looking for tickets to come to the school, the front office from 8 to 10 in the morning, Thursday or Friday morning. If they can't make it, they're also available at the gate. So we have plenty of tickets available.
Noticed, the opener of last week's game again for Fort Pierce Central. The person that led the team out was Champ Mons. It was good to see him walking out on the field. It was encouraging.
It's encouraging, So Champ's closer and closer to being back. He hasn't practiced yet, but Champ is chomping at the bit. I can tell you, I'm probably I don't know. I was gonna put a top 10 list together on who's gonna be most excited when Champ returns. I was gonna list Champ at number 1 and me at number 2, but I don't know. His parents may have something to say about that ranking list. But we'll be excited and obviously need to do the right thing to have him back full speed and healthy.
All right, Coach. Well, we wish you the best of luck this Friday night. Game time, 7 o'clock, folks, at the Citrus Bowl. It's pink out night, so make sure to wear your pink as you head to the stadium. Our coverage will begin at 6 p.m. with Countdown to Kickoff presented by Caps Pizza. Gary Parrish, Coach Jankowski, I'm Paul Tipton. Thanks for joining us here tonight. As always, go Indians.
Thanks for watching the Coach's Corner, presented by Caps Pizza and Pub.